So before proceeding further, so let's understand what is meant by this, representing increase or decrease in percentage in terms of fraction. So what is meant by this? Let's suppose it is said somewhere that A is increased by, let's say, 13%. So you can straight away say that A, which is 100%, is going to become 113% of itself. So this is what is meant by increased by 13%. So you are basically trying to calculate 113% of A. So this can be written 113 by 100 into A. So basically R percent increase. So if you are increasing anything by R percent, you are multiplying. So multiplication factor. So multiplication factor. So you can see you multiplied A with 113 by 100. So from where did 113 come? 100 plus 13. So multiplication factor in case of R percent increase. So 100 plus R by 100. So this is multiplicative factor. In case you are decreasing, instead of increasing you are decreasing, then what? So let's suppose A is decreased by, let's say, 41%. Then what? So basically A, which is 100% of itself, you want to reduce this by 41%. That means now you want to find only 59% of A. So 59 by 100 into A is what you are going to find. Now what is 59? 59 is 100 minus 41. So this is 100 minus 41 by 100 into A. So you can say in case a value is decreased by R percent, then multiply it with 100 minus R. You can see 100 minus 41. Similarly 100 minus R by 100 into original value. You will get the final value. So this is the concept, that many a times it becomes easier if instead of speaking in terms of percentage, if you try to solve things with the help of fractions. So we will take a few examples. Now let's see this one. If the price of an article rose by 25% every odd year and fell by 20% every even year. So increasing by 25%. So increasing by 25% means you would multiply that with 100 plus 25. So 125 by 100. So basically increasing something by 25. So you can multiply that with 5 by 4. So you can see 5 by 4. So there is a hint here. 4 becoming 5 is what is increase of 25%. So this is the real essence of using fraction. So 4 becoming 5 is indicative of 25% increase. So if you want to make something increase by 25%, simply multiply that number by 5 by 4, it will increase. Similarly, 20% decrease. Mathematics of 20% decrease, decreasing. So 100 becomes 80. So 100 minus 20. So you have to multiply with 80 by 100. So 80 by 100 is 4 by 5. So 4 by 5. It means 5 becomes 4. So 5 becoming 4 signifies reduction of 20%. The denominator represents the initial value. The numerator represents the final value. So whenever you say that increase by 12%, then you have to multiply by 112 by 100. So 100 becomes 112. So this is the concept. So as per this question, price of an article rose by 25% every odd year and fell by 20% every even year. So let the original price be P. So first year, second year, third year, fourth year, so on, the price keeps on fluctuating. You have to find the final price after 180 years. What happens every odd year? Odd means 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, these kind of years. So every odd year, price increases by 25%. So increasing by 25% means you multiply the initial value by 5 by 4. So in these years, you would be multiplying by 5 by 4. Whereas every odd year, it fell by 20%. So falling by 20% means 4 by 5. So every odd year, you would be multiplying it with 4 by 5. So what is the overall effect? You can see 5 by 4 into 4 by 5. If you multiply, they cancel each other out. So first and second year, they cancel each other out. 5, 5 cancel, 4, 4 cancel. Similarly, third and fourth year, the terms are getting cancelled. So 180 years. So pair is formed, pair of 2, 2 is formed, 180 years. So cancellation effect takes place. So price does not change at all, no change. So let's see this one. Ram purchased a flat at rupees 1 lakh and Prem purchased a plot of land worth rupees 1.1 lakh. The respective annual rates at which the price of the flat and the plot increased were 10% and 5%. After 2 years, they exchanged their belongings and one paid the other the difference. Then, okay, fine. So two persons, Ram and Prem. So they both have land. So Ram has a land or a flat, that means a property which is worth rupees 1 lakh. So 1 followed by 5 zeros. Prem has a property which is worth rupees 1.1 lakh. So 1 lakh 10,000. So this is the initial value of property. Now what is happening? The property that Ram holds. So the price of this property increases by 10% for coming 2 years. So this is what is going to happen with Ram. This is the initial value for 2 years increases by 10%. So 10%. And then again next year by 10%. So you will get its final value. So Ram's final value, this value, final value of Ram's property increases by 10% for 2 consecutive years. So beginning with 1 lakh increases by 10%. That means 110 by 100. So that is 11 by 10 into 11 by 10. So these 2 zeros get cancelled. So 11 into 11, 121. So 1 lakh 21,000. Similarly, for Prem, the final value, in case of Prem, it is increasing at a rate of 5%. So final value, his initial value is this much, rupees 1 lakh 10,000, increasing at a rate of 5%. That means you have to multiply with 105 by 100. So this is equal to 21 by 20. So 21 by 20 into 21 by 20. So I think these 2 zeros you can immediately cancel them, and still 2 into 2, 4. So 1100 can be cancelled. How? So 1100 by 4. So that comes out to be 275. So final value is 275 into 21 into 21. So 275 into 441, and this comes out to be equal to, so 121,275. So 1,21,275. Now as per the question, they exchange their properties. Now his property is worth 1,21,000. His property is 275 rupees more than Ram's property. So Ram has to pay rupees 275 more to Prem. Prem's property is costlier by rupees 275. So from here it is clear that Ram will pay this extra amount. Ram will pay rupees 275 to Prem to compensate for the difference. So let's say this one. A man spends 60% of his income on different items. His income decreased by 20% and his expenditure is also increased by 10%. Find the percentage decrease in his savings. So fine, let his actual salary or initial salary be 100. So what was he doing initially? He was spending 60% of his income and he was saving. So expenditure rupees 60, saving rupees 40. Now what happened? His income decreased by 20%. So new salary decreased by 20%. So 100 becomes 80. Now what do we know? His income, his expenditure also increased by 10%. So though his salary is decreasing, but still his expenditure is increasing by 10%. So 60 becomes 66. 10% increase. So out of 80, now his expense is 66. So saving rupees 14. So saving of rupees 14. Earlier he was saving rupees 40. Question is, what is the percentage decrease in his savings? So decrease in saving 26. Percentage decrease. So 26 is what percentage of 40? So 26 by 40 into 100. So 2, 5, 13. So 13 fives are 65%. Now let's have a look at this question. The price of a sugar increased by 40%. The Verma family reduced its consumption so that the expenditure on sugar is up by 12%. If the total consumption of sugar before the rise in price was 50 kgs, what is the present consumption of sugar? Now in these type of questions, you will see the key. So everything is explained in terms of expenditure. So expenditure increased by 12%. So what is expenditure? How much do you expend? So this depends on two things. What is the quantity you are consuming, or you can say consumption, which is basically the quantity, and price per unit. Price per unit. So quantity into, so instead of writing consumption, technically it's better to write quantity consumed into price per unit. Now price of a sugar, so quantity into price. Price of a sugar increased by 40%. That means P got multiplied by this. So this signifies increase of 40%. Fine. The Verma family reduced its consumption, so that the expenditure on the sugar is up by 12%. So here you need to multiply this with something. You need to multiply this with something so that the final figure shows an increase of 12%. So the final figure is 112% of initial expenditure. So initial expenditure is Q into P. Q into P. So you can see, you can cancel this. So missing number 140 by 100. So 7 by 5 is equal to 112 by 100. So both are multiples of 4. So 28 by 25. So 7 4s are this 5 times. So the missing fraction is 4 by 5. What does this mean? It means that Q was supposed to be multiplied with 4 by 5. That means earlier you were buying 5 units. Now you are able to buy only 4 units. So you can use this shortcut. Something gets multiplied by 4 by 5. It means it is reducing in quantity. It is reducing in quantity. Earlier you were consuming 5 units. Now you are consuming only 4 units. So the difference in consumption, if the total consumption of sugar before the rise of price was 50 kgs. So this 5 unit represents the original condition. So 5 units, 50 kgs. So what is the present consumption? So this 4 unit represents the present reality, today's reality. So 40 kgs. So 40 kg is the final answer. So let's have a look at this question. When the price of the sugar decreased by 10%, a man could buy 1 kg more for rupees 270. That means earlier also he was spending rupees 270. Now also he is spending rupees 270. But now he is able to buy, he manages to buy 1 kg more. Expenditure is same, 270. So expenditure is equal to quantity into price. So if you disturb one thing, the other will also get disturbed. So if you want expenditure to keep constant, suppose you are multiplying quantity by 2 by 3. So to keep expenditure constant, so this fraction you have introduced. So to balance this effect, price will have to be multiplied by 3 by 2. It means earlier if you are buying 3 units, now you would be able to buy only 2 units. This also means earlier if the price was rupees 2, now the price is rupees 3. Earlier if the price was $2, now the price is $3. So this is the balancing effect in these kind of questions. Expenditure, consumption. So let's see how to solve this one. So in this case, expenditure has to be kept constant. That means the product of quantity and price has not to change. Expenditure is same. Here it is said that the price is decreased by 10%. Price decreased by 10%. That means you are trying to multiply price with 9 by 10. You want to decrease the price, but the expenditure have to be same. The effect of this is Q will get multiplied by 10 by 9. So Q has to be forcibly multiplied by 10 by 9. It means earlier you were consuming 9 units. So earlier 9 units of consumption. Now 10 units. So it is said that he buys 1 kg more. So this 10 unit minus 1 unit is the increase in consumption. So 1 unit is equal to 1 kg. So the original price of sugar per kg. Therefore, original consumption. So original consumption was of 9 units. So 9 kg. So therefore original price. It means earlier you were buying 9 kgs for rupees 270. So that time, or the original price must have been this much, 275 by 9. So this comes out to be rupees 30. This is the final answer. Now let's see this one. A reduction of 15% in the price of sugar enables a housewife to buy 9 kg more for rupees 9900. The reduced price per kg is equal to what? So still in this case also the expenditure is same. Earlier also you were spending this much rupees, now also you are spending rupees 9900. That means product of quantity and price has not to be disturbed. If you disturb one, you will have to balance it. Now reduction of 15% in price. So you are multiplying, you want to reduce the price by 15%. So now you have to multiply this by 85 by 100. So to balance, because the expenditure has not changed, to balance this effect, Q will automatically get multiplied by 100 by 85. It means in earlier you were able to buy 85 units, now you are buying 100 units. So earlier consumption 85 units, new consumption 100 units. So she is able to buy 9 kgs more. So it means 100 units minus 85 units. So 100 units minus 85 units is equal to 9 kgs. So from here 15 units is equal to 9 kgs. So 1 unit is equal to 9 by 15 kg. That is equal to 3 by 5 kgs. 1 unit. Question is the reduced price per kg. Now she is buying 100 units. So new quantity or new consumption is equal to 100 units is equal to 100 into 3 by 5 kgs. So that is equal to 60 kgs. It means now he is buying 60 kgs and he is paying this much rupees. So new price, reduced price or new price, rupees 9900 divided by 60. So this 0 gets cancelled. So 1. So this comes out to. So this is 165. So 165 let's see this one. If the price of a sugar is increased by 20%, one can buy 2 kg less sugar in rupees 50. What is the quantity of sugar that could be bought before the price hike? That means for the same price, expenditure is same here. So if expenditure is same, it means product of quantity and price has to be kept constant. So price increases by 20%. So you have to multiply price with 120 by 100. So as a counter to this, quantity has to be multiplied by 100 by 120. Fine. So it means earlier consumption. So earlier consumption was 120 units. Or you can simplify this, no problem. 5 and 6. So earlier consumption 6 units, new consumption 5 units. So you can see now you are consuming less, that's why 2 kg less. So the difference in unit, 1 unit is equal to 2 kgs. 2 kgs. Question is, what is the quantity of sugar that could be bought before the price hike? So before the price hike you were buying 6 units, 1 unit is equal to 2 kg. So they are asking you earlier consumption. So earlier consumption is equal to 6 units. So that is equal to 6 into 2 kgs, 12 kg. Now let's see this one. 2 alloys of copper have different percentages of copper in them. The first alloy weighs 6 kg and the second one weighs 12 kg. A piece of equal weight was removed from each of the alloys. The first piece was combined with second alloy. The second piece was combined with first alloy. This process produced 2 new alloys that had same percentage of copper. What was the weight of the piece that was removed? Very good question. Let's understand what this question is trying to convey. So 2 alloys of copper. So alloy basically means mixture of 2 or more metals. So you have 2 alloys, A and B. The first alloy weighs 6 kg. So this weighs 6 kg and the second one weighs 12 kg. A piece of equal weight was removed from each of the alloys. So equal weight. So x kg from here was removed and added here, whereas this part was removed from here and added here. So if you remove x and replace with x, that means weight is not going to change. Equal amount is cut from here, but equal amount is replaced also. So the final weight will still be 6 and 12. What else do we know? They have different percentages of copper in them. So the percentage of copper is different. What is that percentage? It is not told. The first piece was combined with second alloy and the second with the first one. The process produced 2 new alloys that had same percentage of copper. That means after doing this crisscross, the percentage of copper changed and became equal in both these alloys. Now what was the weight of the piece that was removed? Now see, nothing is known about the initial percentages of copper. Still we have to solve this question. Then you can take dummy values. So we can solve this question using dummy representative values. So let's solve this. So let's take some dummy values to make calculation easier for us. So we have no idea, nothing is said what is the original concentration of copper. So let's assume the original concentration of copper here to be 100%. That means this was entirely copper and here 0%. Convenient values, mathematically it will be easier to solve this way. So 100 and 0, that means there is no copper at all. What we have done? You have taken x kgs from here and added here, and same you have done with this. So you can say that this x has come from here. So this x contains 0% copper, whereas the remaining 6 minus x kgs, this is entirely copper, 100% copper. In case of this x kg has come from this alloy, so this is pure copper, 100% copper, whereas the remaining, that is 12 minus x, this is 0% copper. So what has happened now? The final percentage of copper has become same in both these. So 6 minus x out of 6 should be exactly equal to x out of 12. This is copper. So x parts out of 12 parts, 12 kg is copper. Here 6 minus x out of 6 is copper. Both these have to be equal because the percentages have become equal now. So let's solve this. 6 and 12. So 2 times. So 12 minus 2x is equal to x. So from here you can see x or 3x is equal to 12. X comes out to be equal to 4 kgs.